This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 XLR Micro Boost toy hauler. Okay, so this is just a video to go over some of the features of the trailer, how it operates. This is not a floor plan video or a sales video, so it's just educational. Okay. So obviously you have crank down stabilizer jacks. It takes the 3/4 inch crank that comes with it, or a 3/4 inch socket on a drill. Okay. Power awning with LED strip. Of course, this up here is your vent, your garage vent. It also has a TV mount here and signal out plus power to put a TV on the side, as well as outside speakers. Your stairs, you could adjust the length of the legs independently of each other. So you just push this, I don't know if you can see it, you push this up and adjust the legs accordingly. Okay. Let's see what we have here. This is your hitch. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with a built-in sway control. Okay, and then this is your crank right here. Okay, the second crank here, the small one, is for your power tongue jack. So if your power tongue jack happened to fail, you can pull this plug out, put that crank on there, and crank it manually. Okay, now this is your sewer hose. This is just an adapter to adapt your 30 amp power cord down to a 15/20. Okay. All right, so you got two LP tanks with a regulator, of course. Like I stated, this is your power tongue jack. You have a deep cycle marine battery right here, and this is the kill switch for your battery. If you ever want to shut the battery off when you have it in storage, you can turn that off. But all other times you want it on, because the battery has to charge, and you know, it charges when your tow vehicle is pulling it down the road. It charges when you're plugged in. And this one also has a solar panel on it too, so you always want it on, except you know, if you need to shut it off for storage, something like that. Okay. All right, so these are your dump valves here. You got your gray, of course, and your black. Excuse me. Black is toilet water and waste. Gray is sink and shower water. So you dump the black first, then you dump the gray, because the gray water is a little cleaner than the black water. Okay. This is an outside shower right here. This is your power cord, of course. It's 30 amp, 30 feet long. This is your furnace discharge. Now I showed you the valves to dump the gray and black tank. Now this is a black tank flush right here. So after you dump them, you can leave your black tank valve open, put the hose on here, turn it on, it'll spray out the inside of your black tank, which is a excellent feature. You want to do that because there are sensors inside the tank, and a lot of times with the black tank it'll get clogged up, or they'll get residue or whatever on them. So you want to flush it, and it kind of sprays those off and cleans it off, so you get a good reading. Okay. Okay, so if you're using city water, you hook up your hose right here. If you want to fill your fresh water tank, let's say you're going to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites, like a older state park, for example, you can put the hose on here, fill your fresh water tank, then use the onboard pump to pump your water. Now, let me see if we can see it from here. I don't know if I can get you a good picture of it, but back there, you can see a white gate valve, right? That is the dump for your fresh water tank. So if you're going back home and you don't need fresh water anymore, you're done camping, you can just pull that and dump it, and you don't have to carry the water around with you. Now this up here is a vent for your range hood. So your range hood vents to the outside, which is what you want. If you're going to use the fan of the range hood, you want to pull this baffle free so it flaps freely. Otherwise you keep it shut when you're traveling, that sort of thing. Storage. Okay. This is your water heater. Now this is a neat thing they just started doing. This is an on-demand water heater. So it doesn't have a tank. It's It heats the water as you go. It's on demand, so you got plenty of water, as much as you need. I'll show you the controls for it when we get inside. All right. Okay. Another vent, of course. Now this is your garage door. I'm not going to open it for this video. We'll show you how the garage door works when you come to pick it up, just like we do with your Hitch. So keep that in mind. You have this. It's pre-wired for a backup camera. That's what that housing is up there. So if you ever want to add a backup camera, that's where it would go. Also, and one important thing, another important thing is the manufacturer states you should inspect your roof every 90 days. So you want to go up there or have somebody else go up there. You want to check for all the sealant for cracking or separation, make sure no water can get through. You can look at the roofing material and all the attachments, vent covers, that sort of thing. Make sure they weren't damaged by low branches or road debris flipping up there. Anything like that. That is your antenna up there, the Air 360, which basically, if it's broadcast over the air, that picks it up. Okay. So make sure you inspect it every 90 days, the roof, okay? All right. So here we are. First of all, we'll turn on some lights here. Okay. This is your switch for your awning. I'll just put it out a little way so you can see it. Like so. Never leave it out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, make sure you roll it in. Your TV hangs here. This is a signal booster for your antenna that's on the roof. So you want to, right now it's off, right? Anytime you're using the antenna for your TV, you want to turn it on. Otherwise you won't get a good picture, okay? You have a radio here with a remote. It's an AM/FM radio, of course. It also can stream off this USB here. It has Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly with your phone or tablet and stream that way. This HDMI is an in. So let's say you've got a TV hooked up and everything, and you want to have a Blu-ray player, a portable Blu-ray player, for example. You can just set it right here, plug it in up there, and go straight into the system through the front. Okay, so that is an in. Also, you got two speaker zones. One is inside the trailer, two is outside the trailer. Okay. Your fireplace, it has a remote, but right now you see it flashing H. Well, H is, here, let me do this. Low, high, and off. That's the fan speed, right? You also have a thermostat. You have you can change the appearance of the fire, right? You can set a timer. It has a timer, so you could set it to, turn on, 15 minutes before you get up in the morning, if you wanted to do that, just to take the morning chill out of the air. So it does a lot of things, and the great thing about it, it'll heat all this space, but it runs on electricity, so you're not going to use your limited supply of LP heating unless it really gets cold. Okay, and there's a remote for that also. Now, this is your solar station here. Right now the battery it's a wet battery, so we've already set that. Right now you can see what's happening. You can see the sun going this way. That's what they're telling us. Let me scroll through this for you. So right now we have 13.7 volts in the battery, which is excellent. Right now we're in the shade on the side of a building, so we're only gaining 0.4 amps. So 0.4 amps are being set to charge your battery or stored in your battery right now. It'll get up to 5.0 on an average day, things like that. So, but right now we're at 0.4, and then they have amp hours right here, and that tells you how many amp hours are left. Okay, so it's very simple, but it gives you an idea what's happening with the solar panel. Your table is folded up, leaning against the wall right now, but it fits right in between these two sofas, for example, and then you use the cushions to fill in space. You can turn that into a bed. This pulls down. We'll show you this when you pick it up. It's better to use two people, but I do it by myself, so it can be done by itself. And also, when it's in the up position like this, you can put these pins in here, which we'll also show you when you pick up. But there's a pin that'll go through it, that hole there, to keep it from flopping down. or falling down, I guess is more another way to put it. It doesn't flop down, but okay. So we'll show you how that operates also. Okay, obviously you can fold this into a bed, like I said. You can fold these up out of the way, and so you can bring in your bikes or your four-wheeler or whatever you have. Okay, and all kinds of tie downs on the floor. Now this device right here is your power converter. This converts AC to DC power. So basically, you have 110, 120 AC on this side, regular household type circuit breakers like you see at home. Then you have, they're all labeled right here so you know what they do, okay? Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here, and you got 12 volt fuses, and then they're all labeled here too. So if these 12 volt fuses blow, they'll actually light up and you can see them glowing through this tinted plastic, okay? But another important function of this is a battery tender. So it'll sense how much energy your battery needs up front, and let's put it this way: if it's totally charged up, it'll only trickle a couple amps up there. If it's down, it can send 10 amps or whatever it chooses. It'll always keep the battery charged as long as you're plugged in. Okay. Now this is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. If it goes off, take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas at the front off, and figure out what's going on. Also, if this beeps very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. So I'm going to put through this self-test so you can hear it. That was LP test, carbon monoxide coming up. And then low battery alarm. It just beeps slower. Okay, and then back to green. It should always be green like that. If not, get it serviced. Okay. So your microwave works like any other microwave. This is the range hood. I showed you about the baffle on the outside if you're going to run the fan, okay? This you just spark to light. So you got 3 burners, 3 knobs in that. This one's the oven knob. This one's the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark it. So I think the gas is on here. We'll have to wait and see if it's on. It is not on. Alright, so we'll walk out there and turn it on. So, let's see if I can get this open here. Okay, so we'll turn it on. I don't know if you can see that. Works just like a grill tank. Counterclockwise on, clockwise is off. Okay. So now when you first spark it now, it'll take a few sparks because it has to push the air out of the line. Okay. So let's do it this way now. Oh, okay, so it went right off the bat. So next one. There you go. And so on. Now the oven, there's also a light here for this. Okay. But the oven has a pilot light. It's all the way on the bottom, all the way to the back. Maybe I can spark it and you can see it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So what you do is you go to pilot light, which is that picture of the flame right there. Then you depress this. You keep it depressed during the whole lighting procedure. So you depress it, you start sparking it by turning it clockwise. And when it lights down here, you still hold it in for another 10 seconds or so to heat it up. You go to operating temperature. When you shut it off, obviously the flame goes off, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Always travel with this shut so it doesn't get broke. Okay. The refrigerator is just a 12 volt compressor refrigerator. It's the other option is the gas absorption that also runs on gas. But if you use that, you lose about a third of the space in here, a quarter to a third of the space, because there's a cooling unit that comes about out to here, so you lose a lot of depth. This is much more efficient and less use of space. So okay, this is very simple. You're just going to turn it on here. Then you can keep punching it for mode. You'll go scroll through all the either heat, fan, which is the fan is the air conditioner running without the compressor, and then cool, which is the actual air conditioning, and then you can set the fan speed, high, low, and auto. So always try to keep the fan on auto when you're using fan or air conditioner. Try to always leave it like that. It'll give you less problems. Of course, set your temperature, and to get it to shut off, you have to hold the off button for a few seconds before it'll shut off. All right. So I told you about the water heater, which is on demand. That's right here. So, so you turn it on. You can set the temperature of the water. Change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius. That's right, that's Fahrenheit there. So right now it's set for 115, which is pretty hot, but it's up to you. But you can send it up and down. And basically, now if you turn on the water, it'll come out hot. It's very simple. So, okay, and then of course you shut it off right there. All right. This is a GFCI. All the plugs in the trailer are wired to a GFCI, so even the one on the outside. So if you're using the plug outside that pops, you'd reset it here. Your shower works like any other shower. Okay. The toilet is an RV toilet, so you have to remember that this is the flush pedal here. Okay. So basically, directly below here is the black tank. So you can't use it with an empty black tank. Otherwise the smell will be overwhelming. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. You come in here, you dump your chemical right in the bowl, whichever brand you use. Then you'll stand on this. The chemical washes into the black tank. And you stand on it till you put about a gallon or so of water in the black tank. Some people use more. It's up to you. But the bottom line is there has to be water and chemical in it before you start using it. That's important. It's one of those things if you forget to do it, you'll only forget once. So, all right. So your bed pulls up and there's like a foot locker under there. You have USB hookups, of course. This is for your TV here. There's a backer plate back here, and there's your hookups. Your escape window works like this. If I can get it loose, it does. Let me start again here. There we go. Then you push it through, and you would push it all the way through. Then you grab a hold of this red button here and pull the screen out, and you can exit that way in an extreme emergency, okay? This will loosen up it with time. Okay. Also, always use your fan, your bathroom fan with the shower. You always want to pull the humidity out. Okay, so I think we've covered everything here. Let me look around real quick. Make sure I didn't forget anything. I think that's it. So, okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I told you about inspecting the roof every 90 days. If you see an issue with it, take care of it immediately. That's very important, okay? Thank you very much.